And good evening, Speed Gaming 4. My name is Noraistra, and with me tonight is Bulimania. We are looking at the Legend of Zelda 2019 Multi-Category Championship. Tonight we have rcdrone and MrDunlo on. As you can see on the screen, we are doing Swordless first. So I hope you like not having sharp pointy sticks and counting to 10. How are you doing tonight, Bully?
Norastraya, I am doing splendid this evening. For the third consecutive night in a row, I am commentating a swordless race. Looking forward to this. These maniacs decided to start with it, opposed to putting it last or putting it second. So it should be an interesting match, and we're already underway.
Yeah. Both our runners looking for, the most important thing right now, bombs.
Yes, and to get those bombs, we need money because we can't kill anything. So our runners are going to go on a quick fetch quest here to grab the Armos outside of 2 and the Northeast Hundo to get some rupees so that we can buy some equipment.
Yeah, once we get that lovely set of bombs, we'll start going through Hyrule and wreaking havoc on all of Ganon's minions.
Right, and in this category, obviously, the goal is to get to Ganon's room. Time ends when we hold up the Triforce in Ganon's room, and up A is allowed, so deaths don't matter with regards to having to go back and touch up. And you can see now both our runners picked up their 30 secrets, now heading over to the Northeast Hundo. MrDunlo with a small lead after rcdrone missed a scroll, but both runners should be fine. They're going to grab this Hundo and up A.
And so a little prefacing here. rcdrone is our 1 seed for this tournament. MrDunlo is our 17 seed. In the Swordless, they're about 10 minutes apart as far as their speed run time, the official recorded time. Obviously, in a race, it's a little bit different. rcdrone holding third place with a 35-13. MrDunlo holding a very, very nice 48-20, which is good enough for 15th place.
Right, and in our qualifying for our viewers here in chat, in qualifying we had a series of races each week. 1 week for each category, I should say. And during that week, rcdrone put up a 36:59. And MrDunlo's qualifying time was 1:01:42, so about 26 minutes separating them in a race scenario, but hopefully we get a nice close race based on their PBs, because as we've seen this week, anything can happen. We had the former world record holder of the Swordless category lose Swordless last night, so like I said, anything can happen here tonight.
Most definitely. When you have to count to 10, you better get lucky.
And unfortunately, neither of our runners getting a lucky bomb drop there. Had to go ahead and buy some bombs. They're going to buy their arrows, duck in, grab their meat bait. That is the second time I have slipped and said that. And since rupees are never a bad thing, MrDunlo is going to go ahead and grab the 30 north of start. A little bit of route divergence here.
Yeah, MrDunlo didn't pick up the bait on his route through there, so maybe he's going to pick it up on a later trip.
Yeah, he's either going to... In theory, you would want to pick it up there since it is cheaper at that store. Looks like MrDunlo is going to grab probably grab a potion for some safety here. Fortunately, burns the wrong bush on the BT Racing Heart bush and decides to go ahead and pick up... Oh! Large shield. We're gonna magic shield time here. Goodness gracious. I mean, it's a good idea, but little non-traditional, we'll say.
And non-traditional is good.
Right, and that would be why MrDunlo did not pick up the bait at that point, since he was saving up for his big shield. Now, we see rcdrone going into 1, went ahead and as the great Tetrally puts it, yoinked the key off the Stelfo in the right room as you enter level 1. And that made things a little bit easier because now he can go ahead and skip these Guria before the bow and doesn't have to spend bombs on killing them. It's a good strategy. It costs a little bit more time, and you lose out on the chance to force a bomb or get a lucky global drop in there. But in a race situation, it's probably the safer idea.
Yeah, gaining that extra consistency is definitely a much needed thing in a race situation where simple death can change the outcome very quickly.
Right, and so now rcdrone is going to grab another wonderful tool for Swordless here, the boomerang in the Guria room here. Lord Banana the first. Our runners are not going to take the magical boomerang, unfortunately. Just the amount of damage needed to be dealt in that room in 2 is a little bit rough. So as we have a bow and as we have arrows, we can kill Aquamentus. Affectionately, I call him affectionately the Magikarp of Zelda.
And MrDunlo here, taking the slightly more standard route of bombing those Gurias, costing him a couple extra bombs, but we'll see if that comes back to be a problem as he gets.
I actually think MrDunlo had a count work in there before he grabbed the bow, and unfortunately took a key spot there. So for those of you who don't know, the consecutive count that we usually use, the old man tells us the 10th enemy has the bomb, and it's a little bit cryptic. What that means is if you kill 9 consecutive enemies, and you kill the 10th one with a bomb, if it can drop an item, it will drop a bomb. If you kill 9 enemies and sword the 10th one, it will go ahead and drop a 5 rupee, provided it can drop something. And this consecutive counter resets every time that you force something. So MrDunlo had what I believe was a 9 count working before he went and got that bow, but since he took a hit, it reset his consecutive counter at that point, and he's going to have to go ahead and force here, and does just that on the Gurias. The nice part about being able to up an A is that your consecutive counter stays through an up an A. The only time it stops is when you do a soft reset of the game. So MrDunlo finally getting out of level 1 here with his big shield. rcdrone grabbing the raft in level 3. And since we do have bombs, we can kill Manhandla. Bombs and arrows, I should say. So we're going to go ahead and go back through. And that up and A actually saves a bunch of time, only costs a heart. Well, let's see how trolly our Manhandla friend is here to rcdrone.
That's Manhandla. He's going to be extra trolly as always.
There we go. rcdrone spending a couple extra bombs there. You know, since we have the arrows, it's the equivalent of white sword damage, and if we kill off 2 or 3 petals and can hear that we ran our consecutive up with that bomb, it's usually a wise choice to switch to arrows at that and go ahead and shoot down the last petal and still be able to force a bomb. So now that we have a raft, or the hot dogs as Arcus called them, we can head over to level 4. The only thing is we can't kill Gleeok here, since Gleeok is only susceptible to sword damage and wand damage. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to get in, try to force a couple of bombs along the way here, refill our bombs, and grab the ladder and get on out of here.
Yeah, I always found this part of the route interesting, diving into a dungeon, forcing yourself to have a double dip, but that ladder just locks up so much other stuff that you need to get through.
Right, it becomes a choice for routing purposes. There's 2 options to double dip. You have to double dip a dungeon, and the other option would be to go into 6 and go ahead and double dip that. But since 6 is just such a gatekeeper at that point, and doing it without a ladder is a little bit harder, We choose to double dip forward to grab the wand, or sorry, to grab the ladder to make things a little bit easier for us later on. And very good knowledge there by Drone. Saw that he had gotten a clock drop, so he knew where his global was. I believe that's global 6, if I'm not mistaken. So knew that 3 bombs after that, or 3 kills after that clock could get a global drop of a bomb, and did just that on the buyers. Kept his consecutive going and got another bomb drop off that Zul coming into the room. So he's going to grab his ladder and nope on out of 4.
And Manhandla giving MrDunlo the business, but he finally gets him out.
And MrDunlo gets out about probably a minute and a half, 2 minutes behind at this point, but 7 bombs, all is well at this point. And since we went back to start, our next goal is going to be to probably grab a potion from the cave here on the coast, and a 100 secret from the bush above it. There we go. See Drone grabbing the potion. It's always nice to have a little extra safety there. And then we're going to grab a 100 secret, because we will buy a bomb upgrade during this run. And if I remember correctly, we are going to head on over to level 5. Hey, I remembered something. Alright. So, unfortunately, Drone, having spent the bomb on the coast and only having 3 bombs, can't grab a bomb there or grab a heart there out of Spectacle Rock, or Monocle. I forget what the official name of that rock is, but
It's that rock with the heart cave, right?
It is. It's the heart cave rock. Yes. It's gonna need 2 bombs to get through. I mean, he could have bombed here, used his last bomb, and then gone ahead and stolen off the Gibdo, which he's still going to do most likely. No, decides not to. Okay, there we go. Get worried there for a minute, because we still need a bomb to go see the old man to buy our upgrade.
Yeah, and with the the lovely named Room of Requirement, having to get that recorder out is about the most unpleasant thing to do with only.
That is most certainly correct there. So rcdrone, you probably see him switch to the boomerang here, and the boomerang has an interesting property that from close distance, like point blank range like we saw there, if you hit the old man with it, the boomerang has 7 active frames. So we killed 8 keys coming in, and then 7 more on the old man, and 1 more keys leaving the penalty box. So now Drone is on a count of 9. So the first Dark Knight he kills, provided he doesn't take a bop, should drop a bomb, and there we go. Little questionable about that, only because he had only spent 3 bombs at that point and then picked up the bomb pack off the ground, so didn't get the full 4 bombs that he could have. And since we only have 5 hearts at this point, the up A there saves about, I think, 20 seconds or so, and only costs us 2 hearts at that point, so...
Yeah, plus you have to do the dance with the wonderful dark nuts in the room on the way back out.
Correct. So at that point, the up A is not only the logical thing, but the reasonable thing to do. And we see MrDunlo here, since he has some extra bombs, is going to stop and grab an extra heart container here out of the rock. And chat, just so you guys know, if you want to type in !Z1, you will be able to see all the information about the tournament and all the upcoming matches and schedule, as best I know.
Oops, RC's going to take out Dig Dogger here. The lovely trick of drop a bomb, play your recorder, drop another bomb, and get out.
A lot of runners will actually get switch. They'll be on the 9 count coming in, as you saw Drone do there. They'll be on a 9 count going in, force the bomb, and then swap to the boomerang to pick the floor drop up as they're walking away and grabbing them. So Drone leaves level 5. Good resources. Knew where his global was too. Killed that lever and got a 5 rupee off of that. So very good knowledge of the count. And now Nora. Now comes the gatekeeper of the Swordless run.
This be everyone's favorite dungeon, level 6.
I do believe so.
All you had to say was Wizrobes.
True, but the reason why this dungeon ends up being so difficult is that traditionally in the any percent run, I mean, besides having the magical sword when we go in here, besides that small when we come into level 6, we go through after the magic breakfast room, we bomb a wall in the next room after that, and enter a moat room that has traditionally on the any percent route, a red wizrobe spawns in our face, and then we walk straight through and then down. In Swordless, we have to go through that room, but go north, because the wand, our favorite and most key item here for Swordless run, the wand is north of that. So with the spawns that we get, going north is already difficult enough. But after we get the wand, which by the way has another room full of wizrobes to kill before we can pick up the wand, we have to come back through that room on the way back to continue in level 6. So it's a combination of terrible spawn patterns mixed with having to go through a room with blue wizrobes doing 2 damage every time we touch or get beaten by them, and only having 6 hearts. So it is truly a nightmare.
The magical breakfast rooms are bad enough with the magical sword. Doing it with just bombs is just fantastic. As MrDunlo getting the business end of the Dark Nut, but he is able to get the recorder and keep going here.
Yep, he did up an A there and ended up having to take another room, obviously, to go back in at the Gibdo that he left, but doing that saves him 4 bombs, and we can see what just happened with rcdrone. He walked into the room and was immediately surrounded by wizrobes, absolutely nowhere to go. And again, even on this pattern, still a little scary. Gets through untouched though. That was very good pause buffering, and smart enough to reload the room. And a lot of our runners are starting to do this route, going over to the right here, grabbing the key, getting the red wizrobes to group up, and then bombing them to get a global drop, if not a force drop. The only downside to it is they're a little bit RNG with whether or not they group up. And actually rcdrone gets 2 global drops there, and back up to 12 bombs, goes right on up in here. And this room is going to have 2 orange and 3, yep, 2 red and 3 blue. But the joy of this game is when you leave a room, you can turn a blue into a red. You can only do it once though. 2 of the blues have to remain, so. Getting some good damage out of these bombs. Very, very impressive, very quick laundry.
Very efficient bomb placements for rcdrone. He's going to get his wand. He'll be able to take out enemies now without having to rely solely on his bombs,
right,
which is just such a blessing at this point, not having to spend rupees or bombs to stay alive.
And so the wand acts basically as a white sword. Does 2 hearts of damage to all enemies. The beam does 2 hearts of damage as well. So you can kill Zulls in 1 hit. Vires will still split since it's not a magic sword damage. And at this point,
wizrobes are still
wizrobes are still invulnerable to it. There we go. That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, wizrobes are just jerks. We get used to that.
Very much so. And so we see rcdrone building a count. Fortunately, was on 8, so it didn't really do him a world of good there. Gonna try to take these likes out first. Now we see, on the other screen, we see MrDunlo grabbing some extra rupees here because we did have to spend the extra 90 there to buy the shield.
Yeah, and MrDunlo still has not picked up the bait yet, so that will eventually pose a problem.
Right, I think we're gonna grab... Yep. Gonna grab some bombs here, and then grab the 100 outside of 3. He's probably gonna grab the 100 outside of 3 and then go to Westlake to buy his bait.
rcdrone setting up another count, it looks like, with the Magical Breakfast Room 2.
Yeah, unfortunately Drone got a little bit, I think he miscounted a little bit somewhere along the line, because the first went back into the Vire room to drop a bomb, he got a 5 rupee. So I think he sort of lost his consecutive counter there. But now that we're through, we're just gonna, wand down this Vire room, no problems, grab the key. We are not afraid of bubbles, obviously, since bubbles only affect our sword and not our sub-item. We're gonna go straight through here, shoot Goma once in the eye, get on out of level 6. And now that we have the equivalent of a sword, well, something that can do damage to Gleeok, we're gonna go back and kill Gleeok.
And MrDunlo showing us the joys of Magical Breakfast Room 1 again. Nothing like taking Wizrobes in the face.
Yeah, this is not fun. There's no other way to describe it. It's just not fun.
Yeah, and this is one of those points in the run where if you die, your options are find a way to farm bombs and get back in. So thankfully there's this pack of red Wizrobes that respawn. You can quickly get in and get a bomb pack off.
We all do it, don't worry. If you haven't said Wed Wizrobes at some point in commentating a race, have you really commentated a race?
I mean, normally I have other words for them when I'm playing.
We all do. So, the other nice part about this is since every time you die or decide to up an A, the Belfry respawns, you can always get an 8 count out of there, and basically set up a force wherever you want. So, you should never really be at a deficit of bombs in level 6 once you get in.
RC's on his return trip to 4 here to take out the pesky Gleeok and finish off his Triforce.
Yep, and since we didn't use the key there to open that north door in the room we would traditionally ladder clip in, we can actually just go off to the side, take a much easier route over without needing the ladder clip, and Dunlo gets a good pattern there in the moat room in 6, so he's going to go ahead and enter the wand room, only with 3 hearts, but 11 bombs should be okay. Sorry, did I say 3 hearts? Immediately change that problem. But as our runners did grab a potion, that would be a good reason to use one there. I've been told by many a runner to never die with a potion in my hands. So
that's always the worst feeling.
I was minus 49.8 going into 9 2 days ago, and died with a potion in my hands to patch with 1.
See, don't die with a potion in your hands. RC's on his way into 7 here.
To be fair, I glitched the Patra because I killed the keystone before I got a chance to get 3 orbits out. And so it tilted me, and I just went, I'm done. I was 49 seconds ahead, I was just like, I'm done. And level 7 is still, don't get me wrong, level 7 is hard enough with the wooden sword and 11 hearts, or 10 hearts depending on what route you're taking. But to do it with do it with 7 hearts. Well, now 5 for drone. To do
Yep.
it with 5 hearts and no sword is pretty brutal.
I find 7 annoying with the blue ring.
Even in my 2 first blue ring routes, I hated 7.
My hate for 7's right up there with 6. Not a fan of breakfast. And MrDunlo isn't right now either. With 2 bombs to his name and pack of wizards chasing.
He's unfortunately getting some solid defense here out of the blues. And they're eating his beams that he's trying to hit the like-likes with in the meantime. Down to a heart and a half, needs to get out, and so I think he's on 1. He might be on 2.
I do also believe that he lost his magical shield.
No, he's still got a big one in front of him, so...
Oh, yep. It just looked like it for a minute.
Yep. And so what Dunlow's gonna do is, okay, we're gonna do that. I thought Dunlow was gonna go back in and out and force off the Vires in the next room. He's got a count of 1. He can get it to 5 here, walk back in, and get it back to 9.
An rcdrone just had a Dodongo eat his bomb to blow up the wall.
Yeah, unfortunately, Dodongos, if we smoke them, can only be killed by a sword or a second bomb, so that's one of the few times you do not want a Dodongo or a Brodongo, because all it's going to do is eat the bomb you want to blow the wall up with. So Drone's got a problem here. Needs a bomb drop. Saw that he got a rupee on his global there. So he's got 2 options. He's going to try to get a global drop here again off the red. No dice. So he knows that he can go ahead and try to get his global to the right place again. So 2 more. Okay. Never mind. I know he was taking that bot because his consecutive apparently was at 9, so he didn't want to kill that and force the 5 rupee instead of getting the global drop. He's got 2 more chances here.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see these backup strats when things don't quite go your way.
Right,
and most runners would obviously reset here at this point and start over, but in a race situation.
Also, the other option he has is to go back to the room with the blue gorillas and gets the drop. He had the option to go back to the room with the blue gorillas and get the floor drop there, but it would have been a pretty big time loss, and with a heart and a half, would not have been guaranteed to get out alive. So Drone, with a little bit of luck there from the global drop table, gets his bombs, gets out of 7. And now, if my memory serves me correctly, we are off to level 2. It's been a while, all of 24 hours.
I have to admit, doing level 2 with this amount of resources sounds really good.
Yeah, we're gonna world wrap, and again, Drone, really good with his globals there, knew exactly where his count was at. Gets the bomb, so we're gonna world wrap, grab 2 more hearts, maybe 1 more heart, depending on whether we want to grab the raft heart or not. Oh no, that's right, I apologize, we go south. And again, gets the bomb drop. Look at that, that's crazy. This guy just knows exactly what to do. And we're actually going to level 8, I apologize. Yes, as Sean Taven corrected me there, 8 before 2.
Yeah, Blue Lagoons.
Yes, so
Dark Nuts.
we might see and hear the Wan's wonderful wonky hitbox here at some point. Our runners basically have to figure out their comfort level of how many bombs they feel okay spending, and then after that switch to the wand. And like I said, the wand has a really fun hitbox, and you'll see like that blue dark nut that just got hit. Link was facing to the right, the blue dark nut was above Link, and it still got hit. And the reason for that is that the first active frames of the wand are above Link's head. And it's the only weapon that does that. The sword does not do that. The sword starts out in front with active hitbox. So you'll see on the Gleeok fight probably rcdrone will get in the sort of the eye of the storm with the Gleeok and just start swinging. And pretty much any direction he swings will hit the Gleeok. Has a pretty good lagoon too. Nothing spectacular, but safe. Didn't die. And really, that's the goodness. Didn't die, and again, knowing, folks, I can't stress this enough. If you are good at tracking your globals, you know exactly what is going to drop should anything drop. And rcdrone has demonstrated this already a couple of times.
That's quite amazing seeing this.
I believe he keeps a drop table going that automatically updates every time he kills, or he updates it every time he kills something. So he always knows where his global's at. Oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
That is a
Pull
good
the
time
potion
for a
out.
potion. Yep. Not only do the fireballs from Gleeok do 1 heart of damage, but every one of those floating heads do 1 heart of damage. The only thing that doesn't do a heart of damage is the head that is attached to Gleeok, which, due to some wonderful programming, does 3/8 of a heart of damage. So the first time you get hit by it, it will not do a half heart. The second time you get hit by it, it will. And now, finally, we are off to level 2, where we can leave. Now, I remember. The reason why we leave level 2 last is that way we leave with 12 bombs, ideally, so that we can get into 9 with as many bombs as possible in our inventory.
MrDunlo has picked up his bait finally, and will be headed off to, I believe, level 7 at this
We are going to go to 7, yes. With the big shield, not necessarily easier, but won't have to worry about turrets as much, and hopefully it doesn't get eaten by a like somewhere along the line. Even there's no likes in 7. Hopefully it doesn't get eaten, because I'm actually enjoying this gigantic shield out of Link here. So you'll see Dunlo taking an alternate route here through 7, and the reason for that is we have a floor drop of bombs here from these keys. So he'll have all 12 bombs available to him. And you see drone, since like I said we don't have the sword, we cannot sword down a Dodongo after we smoke it, so we do have to make it eat 2 bombs. Doesn't grab the floor bombs from the Greer room prior, chooses to leave 2 with 10 bombs. So we're gonna head off to level 1, yes, level 1.
we'll go to 1 first.
Yeah, this is. I was gonna say level 9, and then my brain went, no, we're actually going to 1 before we go to 9. So off we go to level 9. Gonna blow the rock open. The old man's gonna let us. And the only plus side to doing Swordless, we don't have to pick up the silver arrows.
Yeah, that reverse C is nasty. I'm very grateful that that's not a requirement.
And I actually think on these, I'm not sure if they're the hundo spawns, but I don't think these spawns are really good in the reverse C if we actually were to go in there.
And RC getting another bomb pack on his way into 9 after blowing it open. That's just outstanding bomb management.
Yeah, I mean, Drone has just been on top of keeping his global count under control and knowing exactly where he is. It's really making for a very good race for him right now. And it's pretty easy when you know when you're supposed to get a bomb drop and then get the bomb drop. Like it's a dual-edged sword, because not only do you have to know Checks to answer your question, Dunlo has to go to 8 and then 2 before 9, so Drone has opened up quite a lead at the moment. But not only to know where your count is, but then to get the drop is like double super lucky there. And not only get it, but get it what seems like every time. The only time he didn't actually get a drop was in the last room of 7 before Aquamentus.
Yeah, the
when he had
room
to go
that
back in and out a couple.
MrDunlo's in right now.
Yep, in the Diamond Staircase. He had to go back in 2 or 3 times and finally got a global drop. And we saw again Drone building up a 9 count on the old man.
These Wizrobes are eating his bomb count, though.
Yeah, so he's at 13 right now, so he's going to go ahead and switch to the boomerang. Nope, the wand. 14, 15, 16, 17. He's at 17 or 18, actually. So he's probably going to kill... Yeah, wait for a couple to group up. He could simplify his problem by going back down to the staircase and killing Keese. There we go. Gets 3 to group up. That would be 20. Or 10. Dunlo having a little bit of issue with the rolled wrap here. Finally gets it. Oop. And
Yeah, I know I always have a little bit more trouble scrolling when I've got the big shield, but
yeah, it does actually make it harder. It makes it significantly harder to scroll with the big shield. Patra 2 cooperating for rcdrone, amazingly. He started to go right, or started to go left and then eventually came back right. So Drone in a pretty good position. I think he's trying to get his global where he needs it to be.
And MrDunlo's getting ready to walk into everyone's favorite Leah.
The blue lagoon. First bomb got 8 damage, second bomb got 8 damage, third one got 9. Good fourth bomb. So should probably swap to the... Nope. Yeah, now he's got to swap to the wand. Doesn't have much of a choice there. That's the recorder, MrDunlo.
Just wanted to serenade the Dark Knight before he killed it.
The Tootie Flute does not do damage. So Drone there again killed all the likes in that diagonal stair room, or in the diagonal block room to get to a 9. Walked in, bombed 2 of the Wizrobes, and lo and behold, a blueberry spawned on the floor. So Drone just has one more room to go here with the Patra Numero Trace. Are we going to see some swag? Disappointed.
And MrDunlo, having used all of his bombs here, is now got to take the wand out and fight this room kind of the way you would do it in the normal run, and to get his potion out of it.
Yep, gonna potion up from half a heart. These blue Dark Nuts are gonna take 4 swings since we have white sword damage at this point. But rcdrone finishing up here on the last Patra. For the first time tonight, and the most insignificant of ways tonight, here's Ganon. But chat, get your GGs out for rcdrone. Finishing with an official SRL time of 38 minutes and 18 seconds.
That's just an incredible time there. MrDunlo having to work his way through this.
Well, he's probably grabbed the floor drop as well, so just to get some bombs. Gets a favorable clock there. Unfortunately, MrDunlo doesn't have any game audio, so we're going to be in a little bit of silence while we finish his run. The other thing we're going to have to do is at the end of this first race, we're going to have to stop the stream and start it back up. Apparently some tech problems with starting a new race, so we will definitely watch the rest of MrDunlo's race here. He's going to head over to level 2 and then level 9. Fortunately, doesn't have a potion anymore, so probably going to grab BT's Racing Heart Cave potion when he goes back to level. And as soon as he finishes up and we're ready to go with the next race, like I said, we're going to cut stream real quick and come back. And then start up with race number 2. And I'm just checking the Zelda Discord to see what their race order was.
While you're doing that, MrDunlo is taking his wand here to level 2 and smacking some Grias around.
Second match is going to be any %. And then third, if necessary, will be 100% Noah. So looking at the qualifying times really quick, in the any % race, rcdrone had the fastest time of all of our competitors at 28:44, and MrDunlo came through at 37:58, so about almost 9.5 minutes between our racers. So Dunlo is probably going to have the race of his life to beat Drone in any %.
Yeah, and looking at their official times on the leaderboards, it's about the same difference. You got rcdrone with 27:47 as his fastest time, and MrDunlo with a recorded 37:51. MrDunlo has his Triforce out of 2. Pull the recorder out here, and we will head off to 1 to head to 9.
And Nora, what was MrDunlo's actual SRL PB for this category?
For this category, 48:20.
John Taven had asked in the chat, so 48:20. Gonna need a speedy level 9, especially that he's grabbing the BT's Racing Heart potion here. But it's still possible.
It's definitely possible. Just gonna have to have a very clean 9. He's got the bombs. He just needs to get a little extra cooperation on his way.
Yep, so pretty uneventful walk to 9 here. Just as always, gotta avoid the falling cabbage. Don't get hit by Lionel. Yada yada yada. And bomb on into 9. The old man will let you in and go from there. Boy, that scroll just looks so strange with the big shield.
It does. It's definitely interesting.
From a runner's perspective, who is very used to seeing 5 pixels based off of the shield's location, seeing 5 pixels with that monstrosity is quite amazing.
And that may be something that MrDunlo has spent a lot of time practicing, mostly if you don't enjoy fighting Wizrobes. Even in level 8, it can pay off dividends in that first lagoon with all the turrets.
And so into the first Wizrobe. Gets an FU beam, but says to the Wizrobe, "No, F you, sir." because that Wizrobe beam just went tink. I think he's building his count here. Oh, floor bomb stuff. Although if he killed all the like-likes, he would have been at 9. Don't take a bop here. Nope, takes a bop. Patra goes left. Left Patra is worse Patra. So sees the old man in the next room, has 11 bombs, gets the 9 count on the old man. So what happens there is, like I said earlier, we get a 7 count for standing point blank on the old man, and then 2 more immediately for the distance throws. So he was at 9 going in there, unfortunately took a Wizrobe beam just as he killed the red ones. So he's probably going to go ahead and set up a 5 count on the old man. Takes a bop. Alright, there's his 5 count. So the reason why he took a 5 count there, he's going to kill all 4 keys down here in the stairs and then bomb the first or 10 to get a bomb. Or not.
He's going to come out and just deal with his old.
MrDunlo, what are you doing, sir? I'm slightly confused. Not sure why he did that, to be completely honest, because he's now on 4. So 5 more keys. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna force the bomb here. But I don't know whether he thought that he was gonna get a higher count off the old man with the wand, but definitely is gonna need some more bombs here, so we're gonna go ahead and farm the keys again. I'm not sure if MrDunlo just forgets that he has the wand, but he could definitely be using the wand there to kill these keys from a distance. So now we're at 7. Just has to not get bopped here by Patra.
I mean, that's no small order in its own right.
Oh, you know what? He might. No, he's got a potion. I was gonna say he might be setting up a hippo fairy, but no need for that with potion. Okay, so we're at 7. Oh no!
Oh.
Goodbye, big shield. We hardly knew ye.
Along with goodbye count.
Yep. So he'll be at 6 leaving this room then. Obviously, we don't want to go back. Oh no. He'll be at 2 leaving this room. Yeah, I think he's gonna pray to the global gods here. Gets it. What a great.
What a nice game.
When in doubt, trust the global.
Gets another one for this room, too.
Yeah, that's pretty lucky there. Goes ahead and swaps to the potion. Gets his refill. Back to the bombs. Still gotta be good with these. Oh, gets a great pattern. Look at these guys grouping up. 3 bombs for 12 damage. No problem. Or 3 bombs for 24 damage, excuse me. Easy game, right? Right?
Yeah,
James?
I mean,
Right,
so
right,
easy.
Easy. So just needs to get through here. Staircase and 1 more Patra. And then he will be finished with this. We'll go ahead and get set up for race number 2, which will be any percent. And then, should we need a game 3, it will be 100% no up and A.
Patra being Patra here.
And chat, get your GGs out for MrDunlo, finishing with an official SRL time of 49 minutes and 47 seconds.
And that is a 9-minute race PB.
Alright, so we're going to quickly end the stream real quick. We'll be right back with race number 2, which will be any percent up plus A allowed.
And we are back.
See, like I said, short little break.
Even shorter, because we will be getting started here just shortly on this 80%. So, Bully, what kind of differences for someone who has spent most of their time doing the no up and A route?